Here we are getting ready for this showdown between these two fighters. Should be a good one. I'm Todd Grisham. Next to me is Johnny Nelson.
It's going to be unbelievable. The fans, everybody around the world, the fighters. This is just one of those things.
And now it's time for the tale of the tape. Marco Antonio Barrera, 5'6" tall with a reach of 70 inches. And he'll be facing Teofimo Lopez, the baby-face assassin, a world champion in 3 different weight classes, fighting out of Mexico City, Mexico, whose battles with Eric Morales are stuff of legend. It's Teofimo Lopez. He won his titles at lightweight and junior welterweight.
I'm so excited for this fight. There is no nonsense here.
And now we toss it up to the world-renowned ring announcer, Mr. Jimmy Lennon Jr.
This bout is scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, from Mexico City, here is the sensational 3-division champion of the world, the baby-faced assassin, Marco Antonio Barrera. Fighting out of the blue corner, from Brooklyn, New York in the United States, an electrifying 2-division champion of the world known as the Takeover, Teofimo Lopez.
All the talking has been done. It's time to start doing the walking.
All what's left is for the first bell to go. That's all we need now, because the build-up is getting ridiculous.
No doubt about it. This was the hottest ticket in town by a country mile. Every seat has been sold. These athletes have promised us a war. Let's see if they deliver. This fight has a real good flow to it. That jab won't score. What a pleasure to be in this unique environment. Every seat has been taken for tonight's match.
Can you imagine walking into this town, walking into an arena with such noise, people chanting your name? You can't even hear your cornerman whispering in your ear. I've been in situations like that where it can be terrorizing if you haven't got your wits about you.
A well-placed hook. Counter punch right up the middle. Back and forth they go. When you're fighting a counter puncher, the feint can be such a good weapon. Pretend you're going to punch, make the counter puncher throw a punch, and then you counter them.
Todd, I understand what you're saying, but you've got to be on this. You've got to be on it. You've got to be a pro. You've got to think right. Concentrate.
Big shots from both these fighters. Got to be careful, though.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
There's a counter shot. Perfect punch. That hook won't score. Do you believe what we're seeing? Sometimes when you're fighting a counter fighter, the rounds can get a little boring. You get trigger shy because you know if you throw a punch, one is coming right back at you.
If you're fighting a counter puncher, you've got to dummy a shot. Make them react from that, then react then. I know it's hard to think that way, but counter punchers, they're watching your every move, that every twitch.
By the way, the connect percentages have to be off the charts. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Barrera in that last round. You know that bell was sweet music to his ears.
Wow, it was like two different leagues.
Get focused, get your mind back on the job.
And there's the bell for round 2. So the fight will continue. How do they turn things around?
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Have to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. A perfect counter shot. Big hook doesn't land. Do you believe this? Punch, counter punch. The perfect counter lands. The hand speed in these lighter divisions is always so impressive, but if you can sneak in a power shot every once in a while and sit down on a punch, that's where you separate yourself. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. Just as quickly as it slows down, it heats back up. Some nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
He threw a punch and just got countered. Well, you know, in this division, we're going to see a lot of combinations, a lot of counter-punching.
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
Nice. And Lopez is dazed. I thought that was the end, but here we go again. Back into the fire.
Been a tough round so far. It's been a tough round.
Whoa, Johnny! Teofimo in some real trouble here. Down goes Lopez. And as we see it again in slow motion, there's no doubt. That body punch right there buckled him.
Shot from the gods, they say. A shot from the god. 1, 2, 3.
Final 10 seconds here, and I think he knows who's won this round. Let's talk about Teofimo Lopez that last round. What a huge momentum swing that's going to be, considering that round will be 10-8 after the knockdown.
Stick him on the end of the jab and stop him.
There's the bell for round 3. They really got banged up last round. What can they do here to change the momentum?
What a knockdown. 1 minute. You need 1 hour to get over a shot like that. Now it's down to conditioning. Now it's down to mental strength and preparation. It's how you are going to deal with this.
Missing with the left hook. You can't throw out a lazy jab in this fight. You're going to get knocked out. Swinging big and missing big with that hook. And the takeover's in some big trouble now. Looks like trouble was averted.
Got caught sleeping on the job. What do? You step back, steady yourself, recompose yourself, then boom, back into it. But do not make those mistakes. This is the wrong place to fall asleep.
Here we go with these two lightning-quick lightweights.
This is when you get in the ring feeling like you're King Kong because you know you've got a chin that is not going to get dented.
This fight a little bit closer than I think a lot of people thought.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
That left hook missed. Good counter punch. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Here we go with the lightweights. Get ready to see some blazing hand speed and fancy footwork.
Let me explain to you about a fast fight that's got hand speed and footwork. They're relaxed. They're confident. They know they just have to quick burst, boom. In a split second, they've let 4 shots go. Their footwork has got them out of the way. And these guys are so relaxed. And that's why they can maintain this all the way through a fight.
One punch could change everything in this battle. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Barrera in that last round. I promise you, all 3 judges here are going to give that round to you-know. Here we go in round 4. Who's going to land the first big shot? Well, Johnny, can he keep the momentum going after that last huge round for him?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Whoa, Johnny, out of nowhere, look at this. And Teofimo Lopez might be ready to go. Teofimo Lopez goes down. We need to see that again. Some amazing boxing right here.
You're right, Todd. What a shot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Listen to me. Are you okay?
They're on their feet, but is this the beginning of the end?
He's got to waste time. Get step behind the referee. When he comes close, tie him up. The referee's then got to paw you. Walk around the ring. You've just got to make the most of it. Because if you let him jump back on you again, he's going to get momentum and pull you down again. And that's a lot of points to lose in the round.
You'd like to see more jabs. You know, with lightweights, these guys are going to be lightning quick.
What can they change? Can they slow the pace down? Can they hope to knock them out early? What can they do? They've got to concentrate and relax. Because you know what you can do in the gym. You can do it in the fight. They've got to relax.
Halfway through the round, and I think he knows he's... Hold that thought! And Lopez is dazed. Down goes Teofimo. And he dropped him. The perfect sniper shot. Let's watch it again one more time.
I've got to see that again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You still want to fight?
Can't believe they managed to beat the count, but that could be the last hurrah.
But now it's about getting back to the corner, freshen up, get new instructions given to you, and they've got to G you up. They've got to tell you what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right.
When are we going to see a jab from these two? Nope, that jab not going to score. final 10 seconds here, and this has not been his round for sure. Let's talk about Teofimo Lopez in that last round.
Let's see how the corner handles their fighter here after being dropped twice.
Back into the fray here in round 5. Something has got to change after 2 knockdowns in the last round.
2 knockdowns, and you're coming back from that. That's near on impossible because your head must be all over the place. Your legs will feel like jelly. What can they tell you in the corner? All they can do is wake you up. They can't even go into game plan.
As well to block that left jab. There's no way this fighter can go punch for punch. Their resistance to these blows just isn't the same.
I've seen some fights.
I gotta stop you here, Johnny, as we pick up the heat. And Teofimo Lopez finally hits the canvas. We need to see that again. Some amazing boxing right there.
I need to see that again.
Not many people would have predicted it, but we've got a knockout victory.
A knockout victory? That's not a knockout victory.